Hello. I'm here with Miss Julia McCue, owner of the very popular Horsefeathers restaurant in Tarrytown, New York. Julia, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. Sorry, my office is messy because a bomb went off in my life, and
You do look like you're in a bomb shelter right now. It's dark, there's papers everywhere. It looks like you have plans for world domination hanging up behind you. What is going on in your life? Yes, you were telling me yesterday that there was some restaurant drama.
yeah, well, we'll have to go over that another day after I get that sorted out,
Oh, okay. You're still in the midst of it.
Basically, I like to say that what's going on, it's like I love the show Survivor. I love it. It's like my favorite show. And I always wanted to be on Survivor, but like now I'm on the restaurant coronavirus
Restaurant
survivor.
survivor.
Yeah, restaurant coronavirus survivor, and it's like, oh my gosh, just everything has been a struggle. Every single thing has been just like, ugh.
So every day working in the restaurant business feels like you're on Survivor. What? Because like the rules keep changing, or is it more cutthroat, like
Well,
between other restaurant?
no, it's like most of us want to work together. So, it's that. But like in the beginning, we got, our industry got shut down first in Westchester, New York. We're one of those counties where it's like, we're never opening, and so it was like, all right, how do I think the first thing we did was like, how do we keep people safe? Like, can we even be open right now? Because we didn't know. You're thinking like coronavirus hangs in the air for 10 days. Like, could it be on this? Could it be on that? Like, I'm scared to breathe. Like, I
Yeah,
don't
the
know.
information is changing weekly. It's so hard to keep up with.
It's,
I can't imagine because I've gone to Horsefeathers. Me and Frank have gone. We try to go every time we think of it because we love you guys. It's like it's such a, if you've never been to Horsefeathers, it's in Tarrytown. I know you've always been interested in like local mythology, local folklore, and it's like one of the most unique restaurants I've been to in Westchester because you have all over the walls there like it's like the Legend of Sleepy Hollow, right? Or it's like there's different sort of like cool, like ghosty almost, like it's like TGI Fridays but for cool ghosty haunted shit. I'm not explaining it well.
I know. I love that. I love the way you explained it because it's like I always like, I didn't grow up here, but I was born here. My family was from here. My, grandparents are from here. So like growing up, it was always the Headless Horseman, Ichabod Crane, and all this stuff. And, my grandfather, when he came to America, his job was a caretaker at the cemetery. He used to do
Oh, really?
yeah, so he used to be a gravedigger there, so that's been such a big part of my life since forever. Um, and, we do such big Halloween stuff here. I mean, Halloween also is becoming more globalized. Now everyone loves Halloween. And I honestly, I don't know if it's because Instagram, everyone wants to dress up in a cute costume and
Halloween
like
is the
take
best. It's
pictures. And,
sluts love
yeah,
Halloween, kids love Halloween. People
it's
that
fun
feel
for
like they're
everyone.
not living out their dreams love Halloween, like they can be whoever they want for a day.
My favorite thing about Halloween is like I always say I'm like, if you want to be an ear, you can be an ear. Like go ahead. You like the sky's the limit. Be
Yes.
whatever you want.
I'm all
So
for like yeah, be an
yeah, just be
ear.
an ear. Be a Q-tip. You could be a
Yeah.
Q-tip.
Just cover
Um,
yourself in your kitchen utensils. Like you can anything can be a
you can
thing.
do that. Like
Yeah.
anything you want, you could do it. And so we always like do such a big Halloween thing here. And obviously the Headless Horseman and Washington Irving's from here. So I've for years I've been like staking out other spooky towns. So like I'll go on vacation to Salem and I'll be like, well, what's going on in Salem? Like, what are you doing that I'm not doing? Right before this started, I had a trip planned to Savannah.
Oh,
Um, yeah, so I was gonna do like all my ghostly research of Savannah and
Savannah's like a haunted town?
it's one of the most
Oh.
haunted cities in America, which is like I wanted Sleepy Hollow to get there, but yeah, that's not gonna happen this year,
Oh.
which like I just can't see them bringing any people from out of the area into a hotspot. I just don't see it happening.
Is
I
Tarrytown
mean, if it
considered a hot spot? And at one point in the beginning, they like New Rochelle was getting a lot of shit, even though it was only one part of New Rochelle, but they shut down the whole town. Um,
yeah, so I think that Westchester County in general, if you look at the statistics, we have more deaths in our county than in most other states. So, um,
So,
it's
hello.
yeah, it's like I thought that everyone was going through the same thing we were going through in the beginning. I thought everyone across the country, and then I like looked at the numbers and I was like, oh, oh wait, like, and I was talking to my aunt that's down in Florida and she's like, people are just fine here. Like we're
Yeah.
just doing whatever. And I was like, Florida, fucking Florida.
Oh yeah, my
Um,
dad lives in Florida and they went back to normal. I think around I talked to him around Easter and everything was opening up. So that was like a month ago. Also Florida, where he lives in Naples, is just full of New Yorkers. So they're retired. Most of them are kind of well off. Like they're kind of just doing whatever they want in general. So I don't
yeah.
think that a lockdown would even when it was like locked down and my dad's like it's not a retirement home. It's like a gated community. Like he was still like going to the pool, like going to the bar. But you were
I
saying
mean,
before,
pretty
do
much.
you think that restaurants will return? What do you think are going to be the effects after this?
So I'm trying to like get the word out to as many restaurants as I can that have not opened yet, that if you don't open, I don't know what you're gonna do because
I don't know what they're waiting for. Yeah.
there's no way to wait this out. And actually, like I'm one of I actually don't know anyone else that didn't close. Maybe I don't know because I know most of the people I know let everyone on their staff go. So now they have this problem of um trying to get all these people back to work, but now they're on unemployment and they're making more money than they were. They don't have to risk being sick, and they just got fired by you. So like,
Right.
why would they come back to work? You know,
Do you think
when
that some of these workers that were laid off are maybe getting jobs at the restaurants that have been open this whole time, that have been doing delivery, that have been doing pickups, or do you think that they're just doing unemployment?
I think some people will want to, and I think that's a good opportunity for people that need to hire because here we have, you're only going to get the people that really want to work right now, that really want to, go out there and work, which is really nice because most of the time in the restaurant industry, you just get like the high school kid whose parent needs you,
They
like
can get a job.
they
Yeah.
can get a job. They don't really want to be there. And it's like, it's like you don't want someone to work for you that doesn't want to be at your place. Like the biggest thing I hate is apathy. Like if you
Okay.
don't care, then I don't want you here anyway. So that could kind of be good. But I think what's going to go on with restaurants and the sad thing about that is that a lot of the people that did get laid off from restaurants are not eligible for unemployment.
Are not
Because
eligible what to work back again?
well, no, they'll find jobs somewhere, but they're probably a lot of the people in a lot of kitchens and not mine, but they're not documented and they're just paid
Okay.
cash. So like they're not going to get unemployment and they don't have a job right now,
Uh,
which is what's creating this big hunger problem. You
yeah.
know, especially in where I'm located, the demographic we have is a big immigrant population, and I'm really concerned about what's going to happen if it goes on for longer and they don't have their jobs. And then, I really feel like if restaurants don't open and try to do takeout, because takeout's going to be half your business for at least the next year anyway. We're all
Wow.
not going to be at full capacity, not until there's a vaccine. And that could take a year, 18 months. Like,
Wow.
who knows
Ugh.
how long it's going to take. So it's like, it's exhausting. It's exhausting to think about.
It is exhausting, and I appreciate that you're aware of your community. You know that there's a need, that there's a hunger problem, and I know you've been doing a lot of like local outreach. Like you've been working with Ann Richards, and she's been helping to facilitate some deliveries to first responders and other people in need in the area. How did you
Awesome.
meet Ann?
Well, someone was giving, people were giving me gift certificates for my office is so messy. I'm so embarrassed. Hold
No,
on.
you look busy. This is the corner of my apartment. I have had
Here
no
we go.
thoughts. This is a
Here we go.
chalkboard wall for my
Here we
creative
go.
thoughts. I have no thoughts. So,
This is a nicer background. So people were giving me gift certificates and said go feed the police, and then someone wrote me and said go feed an out of work restaurant person, and I was like,
That's
I
smart.
don't know how to find this person. So I made a video and I was like, if you need food, please, like honestly, I'm a different person I was 2 months ago, but I was just like, if you need food, please reach out to me. Now, what happened was I was so busy trying to like get PPE for my staff and reconfigure my business. And then I had just like a flood open of people that needed food. And
Oh,
I was like, uh-oh, like how do I vet all these people? Like how do I get this to them? How do I sort this out? Like how do I stay open and then also help these people? And that's where Anne comes in, because Anne is really good at identifying the people that need the food. She works with social workers, she works with teachers, she works with the county, and it's so much easier for me to just have Anne say, I need 5 meals. They're gonna go to Pelham. I need this, and this. I have a volunteer coming to pick it up, and then they take it. And it's like amazing. It's like, oh great, there's
that
that
is great
whole
because I
yeah.
could see like someone, maybe a comedian who doesn't make a lot of money being like, I'm hungry. I'd like a free meal. My gigs got canceled, but it's like, are you the most in need? So it's good to have someone who can go between and be like, okay, this person is not just trying to like be selfish and like glom it off. They actually really need it.
Yeah, and it's like I don't have time to figure it out, and obviously you want to give it to whoever needs it, and I don't really I think for me it's like I feel like I have such a bleeding heart that I'm just like sure, and then before you know it, it's like I need the donations to come in for me to get the food out, and if we're using all the donation money to just give food out blindly, then it might not get to where it needs
You
to
need to still
go.
make a profit. You need to pay your people. You need to meet your needs.
Yeah, and I was explaining this to someone the other day. I was like, people want to start me a GoFundMe, and I thought that was so nice, but like I don't know how to split up that money. I don't know how to say like who gets what on my staff.
Hmm.
So it's just easier to kind of say like the people that are here working, if people donate money to us, we'll just do our job, which is to cook food, and then we'll just give it away to people
Yeah.
that need.
I mean, I've seen several GoFundMe's for comedy clubs that were specifically to give money to the workers, and I donated to at least one. So people like have done it, and it wouldn't be the most ridiculous thing if you guys had one. And people, I think,
No,
want
but
to support you
it's
guys.
like a full-time job figuring out how
Yeah.
to divvy it up, and like it just gets so murky, and when there's money involved and stuff, I was just like, I don't know. I don't know. I got enough stuff to figure out. Like how am I going to say one server that works here gets this much money, another server gets this much? Like it just was just like, oh, okay, I can't.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard.
And then it's like restaurants in general, like if we want to save the restaurant, it's easier just to kind of put it back into the restaurant and then pay, our staff, like we always do. But
Yeah.
I was actually able to give them a raise. So that was good.
Yeah. You were actually what?
Not a huge one, but the people that have been here the whole time,
Good.
you know,
And I noticed that you guys were written up in the New York Post, Newsweek, and featured on News 12.
I
How did
know.
that feel? Was this the first time you guys have gotten this much press?
Yeah, I'm really shy normally. So we were doing all this stuff for so long until Anne was like, Julia, you need to like tell people you're doing it. You need to post about it. And I was like, I don't know how to do that. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, I can't ask people for a picture. Like, I feel weird. But then she really made me realize, like, in order for us to keep doing this and getting donations, and we need to tell people. And so, I think Frank and you were one of the first people that were like, oh my gosh, like this is a good idea. Like let's help her. So,
Yeah, like
great.
posting about it because it's like you guys really are an amazing restaurant. Like we could just like eat our own weight in the wings alone. And then one of the times we came to pick up food, you're like, I actually have to go drinks. And I was like, you barely finished the sentence. And I was like, yes, please. I will have that.
And
That's
then
the
I'm just
greatest
like,
thing.
now I'm like, what else can I put alcohol in?
Yeah.
We
Soup,
started making
whatever.
boozy
Yeah.
icebox soup. We actually, yeah, that's a good idea. I'm
Uh,
like, 'cause everyone needs a cocktail these days.
people need cocktails now more than ever. So it's also probably frustrating because there's also the idea out there like, well, you shouldn't drink because you got to keep your immune system high. There's so much misinformation out there. And it's frustrating to me to be like, oh, look, you can go into a Walmart, you can go into Target, yet you can't support a local business. You can't go into a local restaurant. You can't go into a comedy club. To me, that's infuriating because the rules change from week to week, and they also change depending on who you are, what kind. To me, it looks like big corporations are just being so heavily favored throughout all this. Starbucks just opened again like a couple days ago, so it's like
I
a
mean,
lot of this is lining up to be so unfair.
from a restaurant perspective, my big fear is that if we don't figure out if we don't figure out how to not only help me, because listen, I know that we've been open for 40 years. We have a big customer base. There are people that come here from all over the world for Halloween. We've been putting everything into go. Like, I've been trying so hard. The fear for me not lasting has kind of subsided. But now I'm like, all right, what about that place down the street that just opened a month ago?
Ugh.
Or the place that's about to open that has no customer base yet, or people that don't have that. So now it's kind of become like a bigger fight, like, because if we don't have these restaurants open, what's going to happen is we're going to have all these empty restaurants, and the only people that are going to have money to fill them is going to be big corporations. So
Right,
we're really
because
looking
everyone else has
at,
been
like,
drained out.
everything's going to be Taco Bell, like whatever that movie is everyone keeps talking about.
Which
But does
is
that
great. Taco Bell is probably my favorite of all of them, but I don't want Taco Bell every day.
No, and then like the unique regional charm that people listen, I love being able to go across the country and, like, you know, if you're in a weird town, you don't know anything, like, all right, well, we know Applebee's is whatever and we've had that
Yeah.
and let's go
When
there.
you're away, you don't like to go to the chain restaurants. You like to go to the local. Like, you go to New Orleans, you don't want to, like, yeah, you don't want to go to Applebee's or Chili's. You're like, I want to go to this haunted place on the side. I want to drink out of
Yeah.
a boot or something.
Nashville, yes.
Yeah.
But it's like, they have a benefit of, like, giving you consistency all over the country. Now, what we don't want, though, so they have their role, but what we don't want is for every little town to just be all chain and all the same, because it's just, I see if we don't stop all the little places, and I just speak from a restaurant perspective, but this certainly goes for stores and small independent pharmacies and small bookstores,
Yeah.
which are
Coffee
already, like,
shops,
I don't
anything where
know,
there's flavor. Yeah.
anything yet. If we don't do something to help them, then we're just gonna see, like, a mass corporate takeover of all of our towns, and it's like, who thought we'd
Yeah.
have to fight something as big as that? Like, that's insane. And I think also, like, for us in Westchester County that got locked down first, you know, it's been 2 months since we've allowed anyone in as of yesterday. Now, there are states where they went in lockdown way after us and they're already open. Now, why do they have the same amount of funding as we do? That doesn't make any sense to me. Like, you're telling me that a restaurant in Florida gets the same benefit of the PPP loan as a restaurant in Westchester County? Like, that doesn't make any
It
sense.
does. It makes no sense.
It's I just don't. And then furthermore, like, hearing that they're opening the beaches this weekend, it's just like, just punch me in the face, because it's like, I am just like fighting for life here, but beaches can open. Everyone go hang out on the beach. Like, what?
Yeah. Now, were you like eligible, or did you look into any of these small business loans? Like, I heard
Oh,
there
let
was
me tell
one
you
that was like,
about
oh, if you're a
this.
company on the Upper West Side and you have less than 10 employees, you're eligible for this special small business loan. Was there anything like that available for you guys?
This is part of restaurant survivor life that I've been living. So at first it was like, how do I get masks? How do I get thermometers? That was that. And then the PPE loan came out, PPE. And I was so busy.
PP.
I was so busy just worrying about, like, dying or having someone I know dying, that I was like, all right, I didn't really have time to, like, reconfigure my business, make sure my staff was safe, and then go home and research all these crazy loans with all the stuff changing. Like, I don't have a corporate council of people that work for me. Like, I do everything. So the first round of money went out, and I have a big bank that I use. I won't say which one it is. I want to. but I won't. So I have a big bank that I use, and before the first round of money went out, they stalled on putting up the loan application for us for like a good week, right? So then maybe about a week later, I started doing the application, and they wanted our driver's license number. I was like, look, I don't have my driver's license on me right now. I'm gonna have to finish this later. I went home that night. Then it came out that all the money ran out. I tried to go back online the next day and finish it. My bank took down the application and would not let me finish it. And then I called my bank, and my bankers told me, they said, go find another bank to apply through.
Oh
We're
my
not
God.
accepting
What
any
bank
more
was this?
applications. I can't tell you. I'll tell you
Okay,
later.
okay.
I was like, go find another bank. We're not accepting any more applications. Meanwhile, we've banked with this bank for 40 years.
Wow,
40
right, because you
years.
took the restaurant over from your uncle.
So we've been with this bank for 40 years. And,
That's really disappointing.
at that point, it was like, all right, now I don't have any connections with any bankers. Like, what am I supposed to do? So like, I'm on the internet, like what banks are accepting PPP loans, and like applying to another bank. I applied to another bank. I didn't realize that it was another big bank. So there got my application in on with another big bank. And I'm just here like, I'm not getting this loan. I'm not getting it. I don't know if I'm ever going to get it. Like,
Wow.
and it would work for me because I heard a lot of restaurants complaining, this loan won't work for me. Like, we're not open. It doesn't matter. Like, I don't know how to use this. And I'm like, I'm open. I have staff. Like, I need the loan. Like, I could use it. And luckily, I had 400 quarts of frozen soup in my dining room one morning.
Oh my
And
God.
yeah, I was like, oh shit. Can we leave 400 frozen things of soup in your, I was like, sure, whatever. Just
Wow.
put it in. So then my lawyer actually volunteered to move the soup to the distribution site. So he came with his son that morning, and I was telling him what happened to me. And he said, I think I can help you. And he got me in touch with a local federal credit union in Irvington, actually
Good.
Sunnyside Federal. And I put they reached out to me first, which was amazing. It was like, oh my God, there's a bank, there's someone that cares about me. And I put my application in through them. The same day, the vice president of the bank called me himself to tell me that they put it through for me.
Wow. Okay, so now
So
you have a new bank.
yeah, exactly. I was like, give me all my money, but it's hard to move everything so slowly.
Wow.
But that I can tell you what a relief that was. Like, I thought no one was gonna help me. I was never gonna get it. Like, you know.
Yeah, a lot of this stuff is like, oh, there's no I don't know, set of directions for something like this. There's no like procedure. It's just you have to knock around and like trial and error
And it really did become like, if you knew a banker, you were getting yours through. If you had those connections, you were getting those through. Just like if you knew someone in the medical distribution field, you could get thermometers. Like, that's when I say, like, it's been restaurant survivor, restaurant Hunger Games. Like, this is basically what it's been. Like, who do I know? Like, how do I leverage? And since I'm shy and no one even knew I own this restaurant, I'm like, hey, hi, I'm Julia, and please help me.
Doesn't your husband own a restaurant too?
Yeah, he owns one in Hastings called Bread and Brine. So that's
What's
been
it called?
great. Bread and Brine.
Bread and Brine, and is that in Tarrytown as well?
It's down in Hastings. It's like a little oyster
In
bar, like
Hastings.
maybe
Was he
lobster.
having similar difficulty as you?
Well, he goes to a different bank. They also gave him the runaround, but then eventually, they also closed for 2 weeks during the start of it or sometime. And so I don't know. It's been hard because when you have a couple where both your incomes come from the restaurant business, like, we don't have someone at home that's getting paid. So it's like
Oh,
everything is on the line, for
yeah.
us. So.
Like when you say like, well, we got to help. It's great that you're looking beyond yourself. You're like the community of small businesses, the community of independently owned restaurants are in danger right now. What would, other than GoFundMe's or more people taking out, like what would doing something in a perfect world look like right now? Like, what do you think? Like if you were in charge of what to do?
I have big plans. I'm kind of like, I don't want to say them until I can launch them, but I just hope we could all work together and make sure that if someone's funding me to do meals and I don't need the work, like, maybe I could pass it on to someone else that needs the
Yeah.
work more. Um, so that's the goal. That's like the next big project that I'm working on, How do
Yeah,
we
like, well,
how
I
do we
wish there
make
could be
this
like a union for independently owned.
some kind of coalition? I mean, there are
Yeah.
a few out there like that, and so, just seeing what what's it's complicated right now, but
Yeah. I bet. Yeah.
seeing like what we can do, and I know for me it's like when I realized that 1 in 4 New Yorkers is out of work right now, and Westchester County, our county, like, we're not gonna be able to open restaurants. I don't even have I'm at the point where it's like, I'm just going to get my to go really set up, and I'm gonna plan for the outside maybe opening, but the inside, like, if it happens, I'll be happy, but I don't think it's happening for like till September, October maybe. But then the second wave might come. So I just won't even hold my breath for that, honestly.
It's like
So
everyone's just anxious. It's like I don't know. It's
so it's just like you know, what people are gonna be hungry for a long time. So how do we, use restaurants to fulfill that need to to get people back to work? It's like a cycle. Like, and I wasn't even thinking this big. I was telling people to do the little fundraisers themselves through their restaurants and get the money, and that'll save you. Like, it could save you. Now, I think that we're kind of past that point, like we're still doing that full force, but it just needs to be a little bit more. Now it's like, okay, so I know that this helps my restaurant. I know it could help other people's restaurant, but like, what if people are only donating to my fund and not someone else's fund? Um, and I'm getting it all, and they're not getting any
right.
donation money. So it's like, how do we like fix this so that you know?
And the same token, like let's say there's 100 people in your community that really are in need right now. I don't think it should also be on all one restaurant because
No, no.
every restaurant's got a certain amount of like, okay, food that they could probably pass along. And it's like, it doesn't seem over
It,
time to be like entirely fair that one restaurant is always doing
it's
like the
not
majority of the giving.
viable. It's not viable for me either, because like these meals have, you price them out at a small amount of money. And so you need to make them by the hundreds, and I can't do that by myself. I don't want to do it by myself. Like, we're trying to do to go too. We're trying to sell. I just did like alcoholic ice pops yesterday. Like, we're trying to sell that stuff. And the other stuff, it's like, we're going to do that. We're going to help. It's going to help us. But is it going to be our main thing? Like, no, it can't be our main thing. I don't want it to be our main thing. And if we could just split it up so it helps a bunch of people, I think. I think there are people that are doing that too. That are so, just how to just get organized, I think, at this
Are
point.
there like Facebook groups for small business owners or restaurant owners? Like, I'm just thinking, yeah, a place where you guys could like share ideas and
There are, but it's like a regional one. I also have like a weird conspiracy theory, and I know you like this.
I love conspiracy theories.
So I know this is just a joke, but I never used Facebook ever. Like, I got it in
Facebook, I'm liking less and less and less. I think they do. Well, there's an incredible amount of censorship going on, like on YouTube, on Twitter. They've taken down Out of Shadows, which I don't know if that's one of the ones I told you to watch, but that's got like over 10 million views, yet you can't find it on YouTube. They've started to demonetize accounts of anybody who's a little bit talking about conspiracy theories. It's wild.
We're cracking down on fake news now, after fake news is a big part of our lives for forever. But
Yeah.
who decides what fake news is, I guess.
Yeah.
My like funny joke conspiracy theory, because I got Facebook in 2004. I was a freshman in college when it came out for college kids. So like
Yeah, I remember having it in college too when it first started.
yeah, so it was only college kids, and then they let high school kids on, and
And we
then
were like,
like
ugh.
yeah, and then when the parents came on, I was like, this is
And then
whack.
anyone could join. We're like, what's the point?
Yeah, it's like you know, now anyone I've ever met my whole entire life, I have to like keep tabs on, and it's like I graduated college, and I was like, I don't want to know what this person's doing for the
I'd
rest
rather not keep
of
tabs
their
on most of these people. Most people I went to high school and college with are boring and uninteresting and like
Yeah, or just like I don't really like I didn't really like you back then and I don't really care what you're doing now, which I'm
yeah.
sure some people feel that same way about me and feel free to defriend me. It's okay. I won't be mad. But so, basically I just use Instagram because it's just like, oh, that's a picture. That's great. Like, it's less like and then all the political stuff that comes out on Facebook from like everyone's cousin, aunt, uncle, like we all have a crazy uncle that just will not stop posting like a political shit on either
Right.
side of the fence. It's like, all right, I've got enough of babies and like political garbage. Like I
Do you
don't
think
care.
Facebook is too political now?
It's just I don't know because here's what happened. So now that COVID happened, it's like, oh shit, I have to use Facebook again. Like to reach these people that are not using
Oh,
Instagram.
you have to. Yeah.
Like I have to go on Facebook again and get into Facebook groups. And I'm like, damn it. So I think Mark Zuckerberg created coronavirus just so that we'd all use Facebook again.
There's theories. I mean, there's people are saying that Zuckerberg is linked up with Gates and lots of people.
Oh yeah, I don't even know. It's just like it's it's just like my funny joke because I'm like,
Yeah.
man, like, I was like ready to delete my Facebook and now I'm like, no, I need this. Let me go
Yeah.
on and delete all of the bad references that anyone wrote during my college years.
Oh yeah.
We gotta
I
go
at
back.
first I enjoyed Facebook because I'd be like, "Wow, you were the shit in high school. You were the popular girl or guy, and now I can see you in real time, 30 pounds heavier, with 3 kids,
And
looking
no teeth.
unhappy, and that would give me great joy." But it's like you only need to see those people a few times, and then you're like, "All right, I'm
It
doing."
also takes like the mystery out of life where it was like, you'd see someone. I remember in college we had these nicknames for all the boys that we thought were cute. And be like gray hat boy or like so and so someone loves or like just these dumb names for people or like hot guy with ugly girlfriend.
Yeah.
That was actually one of them. But
It would
uh,
take away the whole like, oh, is that you?
yeah,
Like,
or
you
you could
recognize
build
people
these
you haven't seen in a while.
fantasies about who people are, like, in your head. And then now it's like, oh my gosh, like you go on Facebook, it's like, oh, okay. That
There's no
we're not,
mystery.
yeah, there's no mystery. It's like, or just like even for me, I graduated high school in 2004. And so like you had that idea of going to your high school reunion and being like, what's this person up to? What's like, Michelle and Romy's high school reunion was always one of my favorite movies. And I felt like Janine Garofalo. Have you seen that movie?
No.
Oh my God, that movie's so great. It's
Wait,
like
what movie are you talking about?
Michelle and Romy's high school.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Yeah,
Romeo
Romy
and
and
Michelle's
Michelle's
high
high
school
school
reunion. Yeah,
reunion.
that was actually one of my favorite movies of all time because I was just like really into Lisa Kudrow. Like that was just such a
Yeah, the
cute
outfits. Okay,
90s movie.
Halloween. Let's be those girls.
Okay.
Let's get those outfits.
That would be great.
But I'm like more really like the Janine Garofalo who's just like angry. It's like,
But better
you
looking.
do that post-its.
Do you
Um,
so you like conspiracy theories, you like mythology, you like history. Is horse feathers at all like have you ever been haunted? Have you ever been visited by any ghosts?
um, I would say there's something here, but because I've spent so much time here crying in a booth over the past 2 months, like literally just by myself sitting in my restaurant, just like, whoa, like
Do you feel like somebody
uh,
patting your back, you turn around, there's nobody
yeah,
there?
I think that it's a friendly ghost town. But yes, for sure, because stuff just flies off shelves all the time, and
Really?
I feel like the more time you invest into that energy, and the more that you believe in it, like the more it will reveal itself to you. I guess because you're paying attention.
What kind of things have flown off the shelves?
Just like books and just creepy stuff. I was here decorating for Halloween in October by myself, and I was drinking pumpkin beer, obviously, because when in Rome. And I had it on the table, and I turned around, and it just like literally flew off and dropped on the floor. I was like, oh, come on.
Wow. Would it ever like open up to a page and like read this?
Oh no, that would be amazing. So my mom's very spiritual. So my mom, we had a very customer that came here forever that passed away. And my mom was like, Barbara, if you're here, send me a message. And then
Yeah. So my mom was like that too.
if you're here, send me a message. And so I like came into work that day and she's like, Julia, Barbara, there's a book that just flew off the shelf that day. And I know it's Barbara. I know it's Barbara. And I was like, oh, Babs,
Barbara was one of the people, like me and Frank have been listening to a lot of like old historical like videos about Westchester, like how the Kensico Dam was built and how they took the whatever, the crap, the stone, the granite from basically the Cranberry Lake Preserve, and they built this huge like railroad like system to get it over. Anyway, it was all voiced by this woman. I think her name was Barbara. She's like a local, Westchester genius. Like she just
I love
all
those
the history. I
stories
don't know if she's
though.
alive still, but she has this. If you look up any like historical video about the Kensico Dam or Westchester in general, she's a very boring sounding voice. She's like, and the Smith family fed everyone who worked at the dam, and it's like a lot of inane details, but like I can't stop watching them.
Oh my God. Honestly, like send those to me because I love them. And actually
Okay,
Frank
I'll
was the
send those
first
to
one
you.
to tell me about the Leatherman. Oh no, I talked to Frank about the Leatherman. And then I went to the library and I was like, there's a book about him. And I was like, oh my gosh, like bloop, bloop, bloop. So yeah. But also, so before this started, I started getting into like, there's a statue in the Sleepy Hollow Cemetery that is like really well known for being like, it's called the Bronze Lady, and it's
And
definitely
where is this cemetery?
Sleepy Hollow,
Okay.
the only cemetery.
Okay.
And let me tell you something about them. They stayed open this whole time, which I have to give Jim, the cemetery director, props for, because we tried to go to Gates of Heaven on Easter to visit my husband's grandparents and it was closed. And
Wow.
it was like, it's coronavirus, it's the middle of a pandemic, people just want to visit their loved ones and they can't get in the gates, and it was very upsetting.
Yeah, I've been seeing that. I've been seeing cemeteries closed, and it's like, well, that makes no sense. They're already dead. Like, what?
Yeah, I know. Like, and that was the thing when this started. I'm a freak, so I like to go to cemeteries. I consider them open air galleries. It's like, each little engraving is from a certain time period, and
Yeah.
it's just cool. The statues. I think it's beautiful, and also I'm weird, so
Old stuff is cool. Yeah.
all stuff is cool. So like Horsefeathers is cool, but so I forgot what I was saying.
You were
But
saying that, you were grateful that the cemetery was open.
yeah, because it's like, when this stuff is going on, it's really hard to mentally deal with all this stuff. I mean, at least for me, that was another reason I wanted to keep the restaurant open, was because people have come here for 40 years every day. Like not every day,
Wow.
like once a week for 40 years on Friday, 6 o'clock,
They
same
get the
table,
same thing,
same
right?
food.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is this, aside from my staff and stuff, like, what is this gonna do to people mentally if we close? Then you
Yes.
have
Their
like
whole routine is upended and they can't even go to their local spots.
depressing, so it's like really hard to mentally deal with it. It's been really hard for me, but seeing customers helps me get through it. But you know people would just want to walk around and like visit their loved ones and pay
Yeah.
their respects, and like people need that. Like, it's so if you could figure out how to do it in a safe manner, like please open and let people do that. Have guards or do whatever you have to do,
Yeah.
because
Everyone really is like trying their best. And I think it's like, were you saying at the beginning that people were giving you shit when you first started doing takeout because you didn't like have whatever they thought was the proper,
oh no,
situation,
actually,
PPE?
I got masks for my staff on March like 16th, and we were all wearing them. And I was getting messages from people like not even in Westchester, death threats for having masks, death threats.
Death threats for wearing the mask. Oh, because right, they should have been for the medical workers. How dare you?
Yeah.
Which is
And
insane because
meanwhile,
you're
I
getting nothing
felt
but missed
so
messages.
bad because I would never ever take
Of
PPE away
course, you're like a
from
freaking
doctors
saint.
or
You're feeding
nurses.
people. Yeah.
So I got to the point where I had everyone else wear them, and I almost didn't want to wear it anymore because of the like hate I was getting.
Right, there was the shortage.
But we didn't have the N95 masks. We had just the surgical masks. Like
Yeah.
the ones that were really needed were the N95 respirator ones. Like we were just wearing these ones.
The regular ass, yeah.
People, and I wish that I deleted it from my messages because I was so upset. But I only had a few. Okay, I'm someone that did not even buy one roll of toilet paper. I had to use restaurant toilet paper because I promise you that I was not that prepared for this at all. So I'm like getting death threats from this random girl in Pennsylvania. How dare you? Like nurses need those. And I was like, oh my God. Like
She's a troll.
I was
Yeah.
like,
People who these people have no lives and
but
they're
I hate
just
being
full of
bullied.
fear.
I hate being bullied. And I'm like, I just hate it. So I was just like, oh my God. So I hit up my friend that works at Phelps. I was like, oh my God, if you need masks, please come take them from. I actually gave away my masks and some of them my masks in the beginning of this because that's how bad I felt. But like
Wow.
I kept having my staff wear them because it was, it was really important. So when all the guidelines came out from the CDC in like April, I was like, I've been doing everything on this list for like weeks. I was like, is there anyone that hasn't been doing this? Like, I
Yeah.
don't, but again, I'm right next to a grocery store, right? So, like, they're shutting all restaurants down. We have the big names in the restaurant industry, Danny Meyer and Tom Colicchio, who, let's get started with them because they fired everyone on their staffs and shut the doors. And, you know, a lot of other people, small people, followed their lead because they're the
Right.
leaders in our
They know
industry.
what's
Oh
best.
my
They're
God, if
bigger.
Danny Meyer's doing this, I better do it too. And so they fired everybody. And I'm next to a grocery store watching people in there just packed, no masks, no gloves. And I'm like, that's that like logically, like this doesn't make sense. Like, why is that allowed? But I'm not allowed to operate, keeping literally I set up a barricade, everyone stays outside. We stay 6 feet away from each other, like we all wearing masks all the
People could come in
time.
wearing masks and then like you move the mask to eat. I mean, or like you spread people out. It's like, or people who come are the ones that are healthy. And it's like, we all just, I know
I don't
there's a way
even
to do it. I just think that like we're being kept down.
I think that like in the beginning, just all the restaurants that closed were scared, but like, you know, everyone had a right to be scared. I was scared. My mom didn't work here for 2 months because I was so scared that they were gonna get sick. But it was like something like if I would have listened to everyone in my industry that said it's not safe, you have to close, like I don't know that we would be able to open now because it'd be very hard for me to get everyone off unemployment. So I was just like looking next door at the
Yeah. Keep the
supermarket.
momentum going.
I was looking next door at the supermarket and being like, wait a second, something doesn't make sense. Like, why are there a million people crammed in there with no PPE on and nothing? But I can't even, but I'm, people were expecting me to close and I'm just like bringing a burger out, putting it on a table, walking away, and then you come. I was like, it's safer for people to get food from me than it is for them to get it from the grocery store at this
Exactly.
point.
Right. They don't have to wipe down their groceries. They don't have to like, there's
Yeah,
far less people in a restaurant than a grocery store.
but we don't even let people inside. I stopped letting people inside 2 months ago. We bring everything out to our outdoor you've been there.
Yeah.
We bring everything out to our outdoor patio. Like we keep it in the open air and in the
You're so good. You're constantly wiping down. You always have wipes out and a bottle of something. And like,
every day I'm Lysoling.
yeah, every day. You're like, my skin's falling off.
Yeah, actually my hands were like breaking out in hives, but so yeah, when we talk about people in our industry that we're paying attention to, people like Danny Meyer who did fire everyone and then got the Shake Shack PPP loan and then only gave it back once he found funding through other sources. I'm like, what the fuck? And then I don't know if I'm allowed to curse. And then I look at Cuomo's restaurant
Oh my God.
advisory panel, and Danny Meyer's on it. And I'm like,
Wow.
why is he on it? Because I think we could see that he has made no right choices through this. And all these people that we used to look at before, like in the middle of a disaster, made all the wrong choices. So why don't we find someone else and I will volunteer, like call me or ask someone else that stayed open, didn't fire everybody, did the right thing by the PPP loan. Like, why are we still going to these false idols for advice?
Right.
because
It's like they're the celebrities. Every
yeah,
world has
it's
their
still like that.
celebrities, and the little guys always look up to the celebrities of whatever their world are, whether it's like comedy, restaurant, like, everyone does that. And it's like, it's just like really amazing for you. You used your common sense the whole way through. You trusted your gut. You didn't let fear make all your decisions for you. You stayed open. You pivoted, you know, it's really, it's like you
Hearing
should
that
really
is
be proud.
exhausting me. I'm like, whew. But it's like, I'm just trying to say, like, if we keep following these people, and I've watched them on TV, and I've watched them on interviews saying 25% occupancy will never work for us, 50% will never work for us. And I'm just like, guys, people are going to hear you saying that and think that it is not possible for their businesses to stay open. We need someone on TV that's going to be
Yes. Yeah.
like, you can do it. It's gonna be hard. You have to pivot your business. Look at the industries that are making a ton of money right now: wine and beer sales. Start selling beer at grocery store prices to get back some of your revenue, because people have to take this stuff to go home. They're not gonna buy a beer from you at $7 when they can get it a 6-pack for $13 at the store. So like,
Exactly.
you have to pivot, change your wine prices, go into the markets that are, seafood's booming. My husband's doing a seafood market. So there are things that can be done. It's just, I'm afraid that a lot of restaurants are still listening to these people saying, like, if I have to hear Tom Colicchio, who's sequestered in North Fork or Long Island or wherever he is, say that it can't be done and just bitch again, I'm just gonna be like, why are you on TV?
Because he has probably incredible amount of savings. He can float himself for a long time.
Well, but small businesses don't need you to tell them that it can't be done. We
That
need someone
sucks.
that's going to say, this is how it can be done.
Yeah, you need
Give people
positivity.
faith back, because, you, you know, they laid off like Gordon Ramsay laid off everyone, fled to Scotland, wasn't even there when it happened. Like, why does anything that you have to say matter anymore?
Exactly.
Especially when everything you have to say is negative. And
fear is crippling right now.
And it's like, we really need someone in the restaurant industry to be like, hey, listen, we can do this. We, quite frankly, don't have a choice. If you're not going to pivot for to go and figure it out, you might as well just give up your lease now, because you're going to need to go to sustain you for at least like a year and a half, 2 years.
You know what I think would be cool too? Like, a lot of people are going to places like the Kensico Dam or different parks and stuff. Like, can't you just sell beer like a lemonade shack? Like, have beers to go, cocktails to go. I know I personally would buy them, like, I
Yeah,
don't know if you need another permit for that, or like, just like go sell beer where there's people and like
I
mark
think
it
that
down a
you
little.
can pull a permit, like a 1-day permit, event permit. I think it needs to be like 2 weeks out. But like, yeah, you could totally do
On the
that.
DL.
I wouldn't do anything illegally because I don't want to
Oh
get my
yeah. Like,
yeah.
there was this good humor truck at the this duck pond the other day, and he was like, yeah, I got this coffee ice. Nobody else has this. And I was like, this is the same man who should also be like selling cocktails out of the back of the truck. I was
Funny
like,
you
we should
say
do that.
that, because I put up my boozy like ice pops yesterday. I like promoted them, and then like an Italian ice cart liked it, and I was like, huh. I was like,
Yes.
you
That's what
want to
people do on
bring
the
your
beach.
Italian ice cart
Yeah.
here for us to do like alcoholic Italian ices pop up here? So like, I don't know, he didn't get back to me, but
That
like,
would be
if he does,
genius.
like, that would be cool, you know.
What I
Um,
think you should do, Julia, is do you have a TikTok account?
I do. I haven't had
You
time.
have you been told that you look like that chick, like the number one TikTok chick, that Charlie, what's her face? Okay,
No.
so there's this girl. She's like 25. 23. She's like Miss TikTok. Everyone loves her. She's been on like Fallon. She's been on like, she's just like this gorgeous, like, you look exactly like her, and she just dances. I feel like you should do like TikToks for Horsefeathers. I don't know. I just feel like, and
No,
then you make
we
your
did a
captions
horse
being like,
fair.
don't
Yeah.
be afraid to open your restaurant. Like there's this one doctor I follow on there. She's actually a foot doctor. She's like this really pretty blonde girl, and like most of her TikToks, it's her. She's not saying anything, but her captions all say like debunking myths about doctors and things like that. Like, she's putting her truth out there. And I think that would be cool for you to do, like, restaurant industry TikTok, because everyone's looking at TikTok right now. And then like maybe it's just ways for you to like get like little truth bombs out there or try to motivate
I
people?
mean, honestly, I'm at the point where it's like I just want to shout from the rooftops to all of these little places, like, you can do, like, whatever it takes at this point. You can do it. Here's how you can do it. Here's what I've done. Take it and run with it, because it's like I don't want to be the only restaurant left in this town when this is over, And a lot of these people that work in other restaurants are my friends. We're very, I mean, when you talk about the worst group of misfit people to be thrown in the middle of an epidemic, like, I'm just like, how the fuck did this happen to us? Like,
Yeah.
we're all in this because something else
You
in
took
our
a
life
risk.
fell
Yeah.
apart, like I did not major in this in college. I didn't expect to be in the restaurant business, but it happened. And I just wanted to say to everybody, like, if we really want, we can't wait this out anymore. You can't wait it out.
It's 2
And
months at this point. Yeah. What are you
and
going to do?
I don't blame anyone for waiting it out initially, because honestly, everything that was coming out, like, I literally was terrified of my own breath for like a good solid 3 weeks, or I was like, oh my God, I'm in my car. Like, is it on my steering wheel? If I put food
Yeah.
in my trunk, am I going to breathe? Like, is the air from my
It was
mouth gonna,
scary. Yeah.
and it's like, do I have coronavirus? But I think that what we've seen when Cuomo comes out and says most of the new cases are from people that stayed at home. The doctors in the hospital, I was speaking with a nurse yesterday when I went up to give them lunch, and she said that they all had to get tested for antibodies and that only 3 of them had them, which means that the PPE works, the social distancing works. I've been out here doing this for 2 months, and knock on wood, as far as I know, I haven't gotten tested for antibodies yet. I've been fine. So it's possible to do this in a safe way. You don't need to be scared. We were the guinea pigs for the last 2 months. We're fine. You can open,
Like if
But
you could give, if there's like a restaurant owner out there who's like you, who's afraid to open, like what are 3 things that you would tell them right now?
I would say just one, get your safety measures in order, get your PPE, get a cleaning schedule, get the paperwork, like print out the
Get
guidelines from
organized.
the
Yeah.
CDC. One, in terms of that, and then I would say you have to make your food. This is a big thing I'm working on. It needs to be better for to go. Okay. If you're a fancy restaurant, and luckily my restaurant comes in at that to go price point, but we had to reprice our beer, we had to reprice our wine, we had to reprice our cocktails, because you can't charge restaurant prices for to go food. Like, it's just, you can't. So if you're a fancier restaurant with a higher price point, like, you're gonna have to drop it.
You have to get real. Yeah.
You have to get, because even if people have money, they just lost a lot in the stock market. Everything is so uncertain. Their job might be uncertain. Like, they're not going to spend $40 on foie gras. Like, it's just not going to happen. I mean, maybe someone will. I don't know who it is, but like, probably not.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, and I'm not telling everyone to do burgers and fries. I think you could do to go in your own individual way. I mean, and French fries are the bane of my existence at this point, because it's like they do not travel well. And
They get soggy. Mm-hmm.
McDonald's spends millions of dollars a year trying to figure out how to make them travel well. They can't even figure it out. So how am I supposed to figure it out? But it's like, okay, so we know French fries don't travel well. What does? What does that we can make? Just think about things like that. I think packaging and branding is going to be important. We got these like juice pouches, like juice boxes, that we sell cocktails in. People love them.
Don't you have little cocktail holders? Yeah.
Yes, we have little like juice boxes, which
Ugh,
I'm waiting for them to get delivered again.
the best.
But just put branding on your takeout stuff, make it look good in the takeout box, make sure that you can execute it, because when people's patience are running out. So like if they get food from you to go and it's like really bad, you might not get their business back. So just try to be good about make sure to go is good, and just for the first few months is like the outside looked like some kind of horror movie. So now I'm like, all right, let's plant plants outside. Let's get the
Aw.
yellow umbrellas open. Let's play some reggae music out there.
Get some atmosphere going.
When people come, it's like friendly. It's like,
Yeah.
it's instead of like at first it was like, we're doing an illegal drug deal. It's like,
Oh
oh,
yeah, you're like, who's got it? Who's got the stuff? Who's got my Cosmo?
Yeah, it's like, quick, like, grab the food and go. And like, we were still using plastic bags, and every time that something went out in a plastic bag, I would cringe because it was like, you know, pulling, and it just was not sexy looking. I was like,
Yeah.
this
Every
isn't
time like we've pulled up to pick something up from you guys, I actually become more relaxed because of the vibe. It's like you exhale, you're like, okay, not everything is taken away. We can still get this really good food and see our friend and get drinks. And it matters. Those little touches matter,
yeah.
especially now when like there's so much that's out of control.
Yeah, you don't want people to think that they're doing, it felt like you're doing something wrong when you got to go food because it was just so
Yeah.
sketchy. So it's like, how do we make that experience like pleasant for people? And so we're planting plants. We're working on like just making outside like an oasis. So when you come, you're like, oh my God, this is beautiful.
Yeah. That's
Or like
great.
we're trying to do plant barriers too. So like when we do get to set up tables outside, and I don't even think this is necessary, but just for another element of protection against people.
So you don't have to hang up like fences or like plastic sheets or something.
Someone told me yesterday that like if you hang plastic curtains in your restaurant, I'm
Ugh, like
not
shower
coming.
curtains
Yeah,
everywhere.
some people are doing that, and it's like I get it, I understand why, but someone literally told me they're like, please don't do that. I will not come in. I'm like, well, I might have to. I'm sorry,
Aw.
but it's and I'm also like a maximalist. I'm not as you can see. And so it's like I
I think
have all this,
the correct word is hoarder.
yeah, I'm a hoarder. So I have all these like tchotchkes everywhere. That's like part of Horsefeathers
I
stuff.
love knickknacks. Yeah.
I love Nick. I've missed like looking in thrift stores for weird shit to just put around. So it's like, man, we're gonna have to like kind of take those all away because everything needs to be able to be cleaned after someone sits there. So that's sad. But, maybe we'll just wrap it all in plastic.
Yeah, I feel optimistic. I feel like eventually it will get back there. Um I think the reason why it's not is there's so much misinformation flying around and people are just scared and keeps people from moving forward.
Well, I don't blame anyone for being scared because it was scary. It was scary. I mean, end of March, beginning of April, it was actually terrifying for, to think of what could happen. But I think that since we've been doing this for 2 months and we've seen like we can operate in a safe way. You
Yeah, the
can
numbers
go
are going down.
you
Mhm.
can go out, wear a mask, stay away from people. I don't know what happened with the people that are staying home. I don't know if they got it because they are meeting up with people and that they don't think have it, and I don't know, maybe are getting it in the grocery. I don't know how they're getting it, but I know that like if essential workers have been working this whole time under these like restrictions with proper, we take it really seriously, and we have in the beginning, and every essential worker I know, essential worker and first responder I know is taking it really seriously. If we have gone through 2 months and we're not the people that are getting it, that just goes to show you like this works. Stay away from people, but you can still live your life in that way, you
Yeah.
know it's a hard reality of what's going to have to happen, but you can't stay inside your house forever. You're going to have to, I mean, for your own good, you're going to have to come out.
A
And
lot of people are terrible cooks, especially those people need to come out.
I mean, part of the reason I had to keep this restaurant up was just so I could eat. But it's like, it's daunting. It's daunting. And, it is very frustrating when you think that you can't go into an independent bookstore one at a time and pick out a book, but you can go to Walmart and buy a book. You can't go into a store and you can't go into like our local news store that just opened and buy like a blanket, but you can go to Target and get a
Ugh,
blanket.
yeah.
So it's just like, wait a second, like
Is there something else going on here? Yeah.
what, like why are you hurting small business so much? And I understand that we can't open fully. I don't even want to. Even if they said you could let people in tomorrow, I don't know if I would even do it. Outside, maybe, because it's all going to be disposable stuff now. So, like, if you get food from me, you're going to eat, then
You
you're going
could
to
do a
throw your
sick
own stuff
outside
away.
brunch. I would go to that.
you're going to throw your own stuff away, you're going to leave, and then someone's going to go over and sanitize your whole area. But, there are ways for us to be able to operate. I don't know if the problem is that, not everybody will operate in a safe way. That might be the problem. I know the hair salon next to me, they will space people apart. They will have like full protective gear if they have to cut hair. But do I know that every hair salon's going to do that? I guess, I don't know, maybe that's the problem.
Guess it depends how bad you need to get your hair done. Exhibit A, look at these roots.
Though, it's like ombre is cool though.
Yeah, I guess that's what I'm going to do. I either need to embrace the ombre or I need to buy one of these home kits and squirt some on and hope for the best.
I've had some very bad experiences with that myself. But it's I don't know. How are you guys holding up?
We're doing okay. I'm trying to put out as much content as possible, like what's happening here. But it's all. I too was sort of waiting, and but and then I realized 2 months has gone by. I need to see what more I can make. And we go on walks. We still go to like Dunkin' Donuts. Like we wear masks if we have to go into a store or something. But we're definitely not. Like not living our lives. Like when you go to a park and you're 6 feet away from people, like you don't need to wear a mask. If you're on a bike ride or on a run, you don't really need to. It's like when you're close quarters or in a store and someone's making you sure. But like, I just feel bad for the people that are like out on, like I started running again twice. And I feel bad for people like, wow, you're going to try to run in the sun with a mask on. You're going to pass out after 10 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, I experienced that yesterday. We were, doing to go with our masks on. I was like, one, you're gonna get a really weird tan line.
Yeah.
Talk about that. We're all gonna be like this.
Oh yeah.
And then two, it's like it's hard to breathe. It's hard.
It is really hard to breathe.
But I wear it at work all the time if I'm around anybody, and sometimes I'll go out to the parking lot and pull it down and just take a deep breath. But I just don't see us getting out of this for like fully back to normal. Like I don't see us ever going back to normal ever, because I think we're going to be because I think once we get into the habit of doing things this way, it takes 35 days to form a habit. Like it's going to be the normal for people. Like there are people that will never feel comfortable eating in a restaurant again. That's a thing.
But those are the people who were germaphobes to begin with. Like it's heightening everybody's shit. Some things are good to keep, like washing your hands. I know I had been letting that slip. You know what I mean? Like certain things like shaking hands, hugging, kissing, being European. I know that will probably change slightly. I feel bad for Brazil. They do 3 kisses,
Oh, that's like Italy. Yeah.
Yeah.
My family's in Italy, and when Italy got hit hard first, I was paying attention to that. And maybe that's why I was really serious about getting all the PPE, geez, too many PPE abbreviations. I was really serious about getting it because, I was having video chats with my family in Italy, and they were just in the world of shit before we were. So
yeah, and they have a really old population, and that's
and they all touch each other all the time.
Vulnerable. Yeah, a lot of double kisses.
Let me tell you how weird it was when I went over there and I was like watching TV with my cousins, and they're all laying on the same bed together, like overlapping each other. And I'm American, and I'm like,
yeah, that's
weird.
like Willy Wonka, the chocolate factory. That family all lays in the same bed.
It's like you're my cousin. Please stop touching me. Like this is weird. But then I thought, oh, how sad for me that my culture, that's weird. Now I'm kind of like, that's great. It's great to touch each other here, I'm not a hugger, so this is gonna be the perfect excuse never to hug anyone again. Yeah. I'm like, oh yeah, sorry, I can't. I don't do that. I'm really like the Japanese bow. I think that's
a respectful bow.
How are you?
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. But Julia, I think you're doing great. I think what you're doing with your restaurant is you're really making such a good example, just like as a person and also as a business, like that people can look to for inspiration. Where can people find you? Where can they find Horsefeathers? Where can they go?
Well, you can follow the Horsefeathers Instagram, which is just at Horsefeathers, which is great. I got that handle.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That was a win.
You didn't have to fight off like some weirdo for it who lives in.
Well, there is a a ski company in Czechoslovakia that really wanted that name, and they were like, "We'll give you 500 pounds of ski clothes."
500 pounds?
500 like not pounds, euros of ski clothes.
That's not that much money.
And I don't ski. So I was really not interested. They're cool. Maybe one day we could work together on something. But they were like, I was like, no, I think this is more valuable than this. So
Like, I need this more.
yeah.
Thanks.
But so if you just go on to @horsefeathers or horsefeathersny.com, we're there.
And are you still doing
And
the if someone wants to give a gift certificate, like a restaurant gift certificate to somebody in need or a first responder, they can do that?
yeah, so on our website, we actually have a special button for that now because I realize people actually do want to just buy gift certificates too, for people. So there's actually a special button and it's for a movable feast and you could donate in little increments. And then what happens is that all goes into a fund. It's compounded together. And so, for example, yesterday we fed the Greenberg PD. We did Phelps nurses, and then we
Wow.
did 2 COVID positive families. One was in Pelham, one was in Rybrook. And yeah, every day, what we do is with the movable feast, like we try to find people that fell through the gaps, like maybe they couldn't get to a food distribution, and Anne will call me and be like, this person has nothing. Can we get something to them? I have a volunteer. And I'm like, do I have the funds? Yeah, let's do it. And I think at this point, even if we didn't have the funds in a movable feast, like we would still do it because it's like, what are we gonna do? Say no?
Yeah. Yeah.
We would never say no. So, yeah. So if you want to check it out, it's on our website. You see an emblem. It has a little jack-o'-lantern in it.
Aw.
Got to keep it spooky. And yeah, it's so nice
Yeah.
talking to you.
Thank you, Julia. Thank you so much for doing the pod. I will, as soon as I post this out, I'll tag you and tag Horsefeathers and yeah, all that.
Awesome. That's so sweet. And you come by one day. One day, now that I have some help here, I will actually be able to sit 6 feet away from you and drink
Ooh,
the
okay.
Cosmo
Sounds
myself.
good.
All right, cool.
Thanks, Julia. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.